Hello and welcome to Control Alt Success's Marketing University. We are on lesson number 1, setting up your autoresponder, and in this lesson we are going to teach you how to create a broadcast. Now in your previous lessons you've learned how to create a list and you've learned how to create a follow-up series. And in this lesson we're going to teach you how to create a broadcast. Now the difference between a follow-up series and a broadcast is very simple. A follow-up series is a series of emails that you're going to be utilizing so each subscriber will always receive the same sequence of emails no matter when they subscribe to your list. A broadcast, on the other hand, is just a broadcasted email to anybody you want to send it to. So something useful for a broadcast would be if maybe there's a 24-hour sale going on, or maybe there's a contest or something along those lines, and you want to make sure everybody on your current list will receive this email. You're going to use a broadcast. So very, very easily, make sure when you start a broadcast you're on the current list you want to broadcast to. Okay? Once you're on that current list, you go to Messages and then click Broadcasts. Once you click Broadcasts, you will now see a green button here called Create a Broadcast. So I'm just going to create a broadcast. When you click that button, there's going to be another email composer just like you've seen before. And this time in the subject line, I'm just going to put something, like I said, this is a test. I'm just going to say, hey, this is a broadcast. And then in my body, you can put whatever you want, but you can say, hey guys, there's this kick-ass deal going on, and it ends in 24 hours. Click this link below to find out more about it. And then insert your link, and then you can highlight that and use the link button like you've used in the previous lessons. Okay? Now the reason this is important is because broadcasts are very useful for telling a story. For maybe you had something funny happen to you, maybe you got into a car accident or a fender bender and you had something insightful to tell your list. You're going to use a broadcast. Broadcasts are vital to building a trust and a relationship with the current list that you have, because everybody receives follow-ups and they're not very they're very follow-up-y. Okay, they're just a sequence of email promoting an offer. A broadcast, on the other hand, can be your own personality, explaining a story or explaining something to people. Most of my emails that you might be getting from your list are actually broadcasts. They're not follow-ups. You might have initially received some follow-ups from me, but for the most part, I just like to broadcast emails because that's an extension of who I am. So with that said, once I do this broadcast, you're going to go down and click Next. This is very similar to setting up a follow-up series, and I'm going to click the Next button here. The next window that you see is your step number 3, which is Publish. And just to explain what the scheduler is, I don't use the scheduler a lot, but it is useful, and I'll tell you for what reasons. If I turn the scheduler on, it opens up a calendar. Now, any day that you choose, you can choose what time the email is actually going to go out. The reason schedulers are very useful is, let's say you don't want to create a follow-up series, or maybe you're creating a broadcast or a series of emails to somebody that's already on a follow-up sequence. You can schedule broadcast to be broadcasted to your entire list or to whatever segment of your list that you want on certain days at certain times. So the difference between this and a follow-up series is, let's say you're heading out on vacation and you're not going to be near your computer, and you have been emailing your list broadcasts every 2 to 3 days. So what I would do in that situation, I would, if I'm gone for a week and I email them every 2 days, before I go on my vacation, I would email them, or I would write about 2 to 3 emails, and then I'd set up my broadcast and I'd put them on the scheduler during the week that I'm going to be out of town. Okay? That's what the scheduler's for. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. Off to the right-hand side, you see Send options. In the Send options, this is where you're going to choose what list you're going to send this to. This is important because if you start, actually not if, but when you start getting multiple lists that might be catered to different offers, different programs, and there's sub niches or sub lists, you want to choose which list is going to be applicable. If all of them are applicable, just click the button right under Include, and that checks them all. So I'm just going to leave these blank because I just want to send to my current list. Okay? So now I'm going to click Save Message. It's then going to load up a new window, and this is going to be your broadcast history, okay? So there's my broadcast. It says your broadcast has been saved, but it has not been sent yet, okay? This is important. Make sure before you leave this window, you click the green Send Now button. I'm not going to click yes here because this is just a fake list, but I'm going to click Send Now. Send this message, yes, okay? And that's how you do that. That's how you send a broadcast. It's very, very easy. Now, it'll probably take about 5 to 10 minutes for the broadcast to send, depending on how many people you have on your list. But eventually, if you remember lesson number 1, creating a list, you set up your notification email, you'll actually receive an email like this saying, hey, guess what? You just sent out a broadcast. Here's how many people you sent it to, and here's how many people have opened it so far. Now, keep in mind, these statistics here, the opens and clicks, that's just from the time the email was sent. You can go back into your Aweber and actually look at your statistics that way. Okay? And that's how you send a broadcast. It's very, very simple. This video is very short, and rightfully so, because it's just like sending an email to anybody. You just have a few little techniques you can do, like using a scheduler or choosing a specific list. So there you have it. If you have any questions at all, as always, you can email me personally at controlaltsuccess@gmail.com. That's CTRLALT success@gmail.com. Thanks for watching.